Literally everything about set 16 is about to change right now because this is the biggest patch ever. But we could pretty much treat this as set 16.5 because that's how much is literally changing right now. It's not just the buffs and nerfs, it's literally so much more because they're changing a lot of the unlocks, which is going to fundamentally change how we approach the game. Because I think flex play is back on the menu. So let's go into the buffs and nerfs. I'm going to give you all my thoughts on that below. We're going to go through all the system changes and we're going to try to make some predictions because that's what this is all about, right? Sponsored by DraftKings. I'm just kidding. We don't do that around here. But that'd be funny though, right? If they had TFT. But let's start off with the buffs. We have Lulu, Ashe, Echo, Ahri, Draven, Gangplank, Vayne, Zoe, Lissandra, Singed, Leona, Diana, Annie, Warwick, and Demacia. I'm most excited about the Singed and Warwick and the Diana because lots of lose streak options were just not that available in the 2 recent patches. So we had like a month where lose streaking just felt awful because you kind of just had to hit. They're nerfing Yorick, Kalista, Nidalee, Yone, Aatrox, Veigar, Mel, Set, Silas, Tahm Kench, T-Hex, Thresh, and Xerath. And then also nerfing Bruiser, Ixtal, Piltover Slayer, and Yordle. And then they're also changing 7 augments. Lastly, they're going to be adjusting Rise, Azir, Ionia, and Void. Rise, I think, is going to be the most interesting. You'll see why in a sec, because I did sneak peek at a little preview. I got to admit that to you guys, because I normally don't. I normally read these completely fresh, but because there's so many changes, I had to take a sneak peek. But we got Chonk's Treasure returning March 4th through April 14th, and then they'll be making some adjustments to some of the various champions to make the gameplay balanced there. But here are the big changes, the system changes for the unlocks. So let's actually read this. While unlocks allow for a multitude of comps to exist in the meta, their current requirements are too specific. I completely agree. If you don't get Void early, like you just can't go into Void later, even if the champions make a lot of sense for you. And it funnels players into more rigid and less flexible play than we would like. I agree wholeheartedly. So they're taking a huge swing and making a bulk of our unlocks far easier with the goal of allowing even more comps to exist through less stringent requirements and the potential for making and adapting your comp on the fly. So I'm personally super excited about this. I know some players are not, mainly like the competitive players because they're playing on this patch with like pretty much no prep. And I get that that's a horrible thing to do. And if I were in their shoes, I would not like that either. But at the end of the day, TFT is much more than just catering to 100 players. It's catering to probably millions, right? So it makes sense where the priorities are, which I completely agree with. I would do the same exact thing. But they did mention that they would have liked to make these changes sooner, and I kind of wish that too. But this might actually be a great time because it's literally kind of like the time where the set kind of dies down a little bit. So making these huge changes just gives us like so much more things to play around with and more things to discover. So I personally love this timing, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But let's go into the unlock conditions. Bards being changed from 4 rerolls to 3 rerolls. Okay, that's absolutely nuts because that 2 gold in the early game means a lot. That means all the reroll augments just got so much better because you just might not even have to spend any gold to get Bard unlocked sometimes. Like, holy cow. Are they going to compensate nerf him in some way? They have to, right? Graves for Twisted Fate is being 2 items equipped to any Bilgewater with 2 items equipped. Okay, that makes 1000% sense. Makes it much more flexible. And then Yorick, 2-star Viego is going to be 1-star Viego equipped with 1 item. This one I kind of wish they stuck with 2-star Viego. It kind of just made more sense to me because like, are you really flexing Shadow Isles into other stuff? Maybe you are, maybe you are. But how are you going to collect souls without playing them the whole game? You need Viego 2-star anyways to do that. So this one, I'm kind of whatever on. Darius have Draven drop 1 gold is going to be changed to 1 item equipped to Draven plus level 5. This one I don't like, only because I thought this Draven one was kind of cool. Not because it's good or bad, but I just thought it was cool. Gwen, 20 souls is going to be changed to 10 souls in level 5. So I guess that's how you unlock the Shadow Isles a little more quickly. Kennen, 7-star of Ionia, Yordle, and Defender is being changed to 5. Great change there. You also need to be level 5. Kabuko and Yuumi, this one was always tough. So pretty much all the Kabuko, Yuumi, and Kennen boards just got a lot easier to make. This one needs 6-star levels and level 6. Yeah, the level 7 was a huge blocker before. I've definitely been blocked by that. Diana is 2-star Leona and level 6 is being changed to 1-star Leona with 3 items and level 7. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, level 6 for Diana is a little early. Like, she'll just dominate the whole time, right? So level 7, I completely agree with. Now you don't need to get a ton of Leonas in the early game to stabilize with Diana. You don't need like the lesser dupe requirement before going this. So a great change here. Kaisa, 3 items equipped on a long shot is being changed to 2 items equipped to a long shot. This one I don't really think they needed to change. Like, yeah, put 3 items on it. You get a great unit, right? Callista, 70 souls to 30 souls in level 7. Maybe you can flex the Shadow Isles. It seems weird though, but this one I think I kind of have to play out to get a real feel for. 30 souls really isn't that many. Nidalee is being changed from 2-star Nico to 2-star Nico with 3 items and level 7. Rift Herald, Field Void for 8 combats. This one's going to be Field Void for 2 combats and level 7. Okay, beautiful. If you need Rift, if you need a nice little bruiser, maybe you're going like some Volibear comp, you need bruiser, you don't want to play Wukong for some reason, you get the Rift Herald in, perfect. Or you're playing Wukong, you're playing Ionia, and you're like, Volibear, I don't need him. I need a dedicated tank. Let me get a Rift Herald. Boom, you got your Rift Herald. Perfect. 2 Bruiser, absolutely awesome. Okay, Skarner, non-tank with Gargoyle Stoneplate is being changed to Caster or Marksman with 1 Chain Vest item. This one seems weird. I kind of like the Stoneplate one. It's kind of goofy, but this one just doesn't make that much sense to me. I know it is easier to do, but to me, it doesn't really make sense. I'm assuming there is a level gate to this as well. I forget what it is. It has to be like level 7 or something, right? Like, if only there was a website for me to check. Database champions, type in Skarner over here. And then we see that, yeah, you do need level 7 over there. So that's going to be changed. Veigar, champion with 2 death caps, is going to be Yordle with 1 death cap. Okay, awesome. We're going to be seeing a lot more Veigar. Now I'm wondering, like, do we even need unlocks anymore? Should they just have every champion available? Now I'm kind of thinking on that boat, because some of these are very, very easy to do. Yone, 3-star Yasuo is being changed to 2-star Yasuo with 3 items and level 7. Wow, that's really easy. This one is like gigantically easy. I mean, how hard is it to get a 3-star compared to 2-star? You tell me, right? Aatrox, 40% Omnivamp. You only need 30 now, so you could just do this with Handed Justices now. You don't need Bloodthirsters anymore. Galio, you need 12-star levels of Demacia. Is being changed to 8-star levels and be level 8. This one isn't too big of a deal because normally when you play Demacia, you want a lot of them anyways. You're not really going to be playing Galio in a different comps with like half Demacia team, half something else. So this one doesn't matter as much in my opinion, but it is going to be much easier to unlock. Mel is being changed from 2-star Mbessa with 1 item dies to being Mbessa with 1 item dies and level 8. Rise, this is a big one. 4 regions changed to 3 regions and level 9. Absolutely huge. We're going to be seeing a lot more Rise. They definitely have to nerf him to compensate there. Pretty much all these champions they have to nerf a little bit, right? Silas, Cell, 2-star Jarvan and Garen, and be level 9 is being changed to just Garen and level 9. Wow, that one's going to be really easy. Holy cow. You don't need to have the Jarvan gate from the beginning because sometimes you just don't hit the Jarvan 2-star, right? But you want to play this comp. I mean, I agree with this change wholeheartedly, but maybe they should change it back to Garen and Lux because I thought Silas's hard unlock was like the whole point of his character. Like if you're thinking, let's design a game around unlocks, you got to have at least one of them be super hard, right? Like Tom Kench, 450 silver serpents is going to be changed to 350 and level 8. T-Hex, 9-star levels to 7-star levels and level 8. Unironically, this might make it harder to get. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. It's a lot easier to get. I was thinking like some people unlock him on like level 7 or something like that. That's what I was thinking in the back of my head. I've seen it happen before, you know? So that's why I'm just laughing about it. Obviously, it is easier. Thresh is being changed from 175 souls to 5 Shadow Isle star levels plus level 8. And then Volibear, 3,400 health, level 8. And then Ziggs being changed to 2 items on a Zon or a Yordle. So tons of huge changes there. This is going to be the biggest change. Like everything else we read, well, they do have to nerf things to compensate. Okay, so it is important to read everything. All right, let's go into the large changes. We have Bruiser max health is being decreased at 4 and 6 Bruiser. Okay, let's see why they do that. Bruiser getting their 2 strongest units earlier. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I was about to say, it's like, who goes 4 and 6 Bruiser? But yeah, if they're making it easier to get, then more people will do it, right? Demacia Resist is being bumped up by 5 each, so they're pretty much undoing the nerf that they gave them before. We'll have to see how Galio changes, because obviously Galio early means a lot. Ionia Transcendence bonus, 100 to 130. Generosity, takedowns per gold, 3 to 4, so that's a nerf. Path of Blades no longer grants bonus damage on hit, and then Path of Blades also grants 15, 25, 50, and 100% ability power. Ability power is not really a blade, but whatever, we'll let it slide, right? Ionia 10, enemy attack speed reduction 40 to 30. Ionia Path of Blades also grants Ionians 15, 25, 50, and 100% ability power. Not really a blade ability, but I'll let it slide. I've actually started making my own game recently, and as much as I want everything to make logical sense and be thematic, at the end of the day, sometimes you're just gonna have to like go with it, you know? So I guess I can forgive them here because I'm dealing with this issue right now myself. Ionia enemy attack speed reduction 40 to 30%, and then Ixtal Sunshard reward stage 2 through 5. Champion deaths, this one is going to be reduced early and increased later. This one's going to be reduced on stage 2, 3, and 4, but increase on stage 5. But honestly, the stage 5 increase is pretty much nothing. Ixtal champion kills, this one is going to be decreased at 3, 4, and 5 by XP, the easy one is going to be reduced across the board. Hard is going to be nerfed as well. Reroll medium, this one's going to be nerfed. Reroll hard, this one's only going to be nerfed on stage 3. And then clear item bench, this one's so easy to do, right? Yeah, they got nerfed this early one. And then small lose streak, this one is going to be nerfed in stage 3. And then Kiana, 3-star, nerfed across the board. Next, we have Piltover. Mining drill gold chance is going to be reduced. And then Slayer bonus, this one's going to be decreased across the board. Okay, so small nerf to Belveth comps out there, which is weird because Belveth comps, they don't really rely on a lot of unlocks. I mean, I know you have Aatrox and stuff, but he's really not that important to the rest of the team. Void Adrenaline modules, baseline damage amp is going to be 15% damage amp to 18. Void Leeching Nucleus is going to steal AD and AP from enemy for up to 15 stacks. That's being nerfed to 10 stacks. And then Yordle, 8-piece grab bag, gold drop is going to be dropped by 1 gold. 2 2-drop Yordles added as potential reward. And then average value of distributed loot slightly lowered. Now let's go on to units tier 1. Lulu primary damage. Okay, just one change here. They just want Lulu to be buffed. I didn't even need to look at the changes to know she's going to be buffed, because who in their right mind is going to be playing Lulu? If you've been checking out the opener's guide on bunnymuffins.lol, you go to units to hold stage 1 cost. Yeah, Lulu D tier. No surprise there. Yeah, they need a buffer. But maybe because Veigar's better, maybe you want Lulu, you know? Maybe they don't even need this buff. Maybe the Veigar buff's enough. Well, we have to see how good the comp is. Honestly, guides are going to come out, like the preliminary one is going to come out when the patch comes out. Big update going to happen sometime between Wednesday and Thursday, and then video on Friday. But if you ever need to like look up stats or whatever to see what's good, just go to teamfight.lol, go to the comps, go to the champions. Like my favorite is the champions. You type in various cost levels and you can kind of see who goes where. Like right now, Veigar's pretty good. I like looking at play rate the most for 4 costs, more so than average placement, but combining them is always going to be the best thing to do. And then for rerolls, it's really easy. You just type in like 1, 2, 3, check out the 3-star average placement just to see how well they're doing, but also combine it with 3-star rate over here. Because if no one's going for like Gwen 3-star, for example, it doesn't really matter how good the average placement is, right? But you can tell from Kabuko and Kennen being like 15 and 25% that like those are just Veigar comps. So that's why it kind of shows up like that. But it's a great way to get like a baseline established. Units tier 2, we got Tryndamere and Ashe reroll. All right, yeah, they are struggling. Buff to Ashe AD, buff to Ashe AS. Yeah, that should be good enough, right? I think like the Tryndamere comp, it was like definitely bad, but they don't need like that much to be better, if that makes any sense. But hopefully it is back. Echo spell damage, this one's going to be buffed up by a little bit across the board. Yorick, going to be nerfed because he's easy to unlock now. Units tier 3, Ahri spell damage. This one is going to be increased at 3-star. Okay, reroll Ahri. It definitely should be a thing. Like the Path of Ionians or whatever, the one that Transcendence, it shouldn't just be Yasuo, right? Like there should be viable Ahri comps. There should be even viable like Jhin Shen reroll. Like how is that not a thing? I wish it was. I honestly haven't seen it before though. Draven spell damage, this one is going to be buffed up at 3 and 2-star. Gangplank spell damage, this one's going to be buffed across the board. I guess this is to kind of compensate for him to compete with all the new unlocks and then also keep the Belveth and Mbessa comps a little bit better. Leona flat damage reduction, this one's going to be buffed at 3-star. Number of targets going to be increased at 3-star. Vayne spell damage, this one's going to be buffed across the board. Yeah, Vayne's a little weak right now. Probably like the worst Demacian unit, honestly. She probably doesn't need that much though, because Demacians just need to be a bit better, and then when they're good, she's going to be good. But yeah, she was the worst one, but now she should be in par with a bunch of other people, even though this change is very, very small. Zoe spell damage is going to be buffed up at 3-star. Okay, they really want like 3-star Leona Zoe to be a thing. I think it's already like pretty solid. It's good in a couple of different comps out there, but hopefully it should make them even better. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, right? Like, what are the stats on that again? We have the 3 stars already set up so we could look. Okay, we got Zoe at 3. Okay, yeah, they're pretty bad. Okay, yeah, buff them. Like, holy cow. Units tier 4, Diana secondary damage is going to be buffed. Okay, do they talk about Diana here? No, I don't really see any mentions of her. But I'm hoping, like, I know Diana was OP at the start of the set, but I kind of liked having that option of lose streak Diana, you know? The fact that they just absolutely killed it, it's not even like played every other game, it's played in no games, means that it was a little too much, right? I'm not saying we should have a Diana player every single game, but at least in like half the games, right? Like maybe someone plays her sometimes, someone plays Singe sometimes. There's just got to be some options for lose streakers out there, because it just sucks to lose streak and then you just have to pray you hit anyways against the win streakers. Like, it just doesn't feel great. Callista's spell damage, this one's going to be nerfed at 1-star, and then the initial spears is going to be increased from 20 to 25. The scaling is going to be 1 spear per 25 souls, and then being buffed up to double because you're going to get less spears now or less souls now, assuming you're flexing her. But does that mean if you are just going hard into Shadow Owls that you're just going to be getting super souls on her? Is that a thing? Am I misreading this? Oh, no. My bad. I misread this. It's getting nerfed by half. Holy cow. So you get half the amount of spears now. Obviously, you get more in the beginning, but yeah, getting more later is going to be a little more difficult. Lysandra, mana is going to be buffed up a little bit. Nidalee health going to be buffed. Attack speed nerfed. Spell damage, this one's going to be nerfed. So they're going to make her a little more resilient, but a little less damage. Do they talk about that here? Interesting to see what they say about that. Nidalee, with less dependent on super tank Nico, we're able to adjust her to be a bit more durable herself while also lowering her damage. All right, fair enough. Singe, bonus resist going to be changed to 20, 60, and 100. Wow, that is a lot. 20 to 60 is a big difference. What items give you like 40 armor and MR? Let's go to champions, Singe. Okay, right now, yeah, he just gets 20 armor and MR. But if we go to like the items and stuff, like how much does Bramble give? Bramble gives 65, Stoneplate gives 30 and 30. So you pretty much get a Stoneplate without the bonus effect. A little more than that actually at 2-star. So overall, like, yeah, it's like a lot of resistances. That's actually a pretty big Singe buff. Obviously, it only lasts for the duration of his ability, but I mean, that should be good enough, right? Vhagar's damage is going to be nerfed at 1 and 2-star to compensate, not for his size, but for his unlock condition, right? Warwick mana going to be buffed by 20. Spell damage is going to be buffed up a little bit at 1 and 2-star as well for the AD, so pretty big Warwick buffs there. Zon seems pretty good if you ask me. Yone base damage, this one's going to be dropped down a tiny bit. And then the ability split going to be nerfed. Passive AP also going to be nerfed just because he's so much easier to unlock now. We're going to be seeing a lot of Yone, I bet, because you don't even have to play him in Yasuo reroll anymore. You can just play Ionias and wow, Yone, Yunara, Wukong, like 1 tank, 2 carries, 1 range, 1 melee. Like that sounds like a pretty good deal to me, right? There's got to be some deep Ionia comps that get unlocked because of this. Is 7 Ionia going to be like a thing? On paper, it sounds good. You got an item holder for pretty much every item in the game, so that'd be kind of cool there. If you combine that with Set at 5 costs or Ari at 3 costs, you got an item holder for pretty much every item in the game, so that sounds really cool to me. For units tier 5, we got Aatrox spell damage, we got nerfs to his AD. I'm assuming pretty much all of these are going to be nerfs except for Annie because she's not an unlock. Pretty much all the unlocked champions are getting nerfed. All the non-unlocked champions are being buffed. So Annie buff, Azir buff, Azir soldiers getting a nerf. But I think the attack speed's so good. Like attack speed on Azir, amazing, right? Mel, Radiant item threshold going to be increased. So that's a nerf. Rise, definitely going to get hard nerfed. He's getting his spell damage reduced. He's getting his cannon reduced. Yordle damage, chill duration. Like all his bonuses are getting a little bit rougher. Pretty much everything's getting nerfed, but I still think Rise is going to be absolutely disgusting. 3 region requirements from 4, that's huge. I mean, you still want to play a lot of regions, but you stabilize so much earlier. You don't need to play some goofy board all the time, you know, to play him. Now you can play him in a random comp, you know? I think that's going to be opening up a lot of different scenarios, and with Void being so easy to play with, to get Rift Herald, you get like 2 Void. You could splash that into pretty much anything, right? 2 Shadow Owls, you could splash that into anything. Like, you could splash so much stuff into this. I actually want to see some people cook up some really cool Rise comps. But yeah, obviously you still want a lot of regions because he still gets the benefits from everything else. But in terms of just unlocking him and stabilizing, you might just save a turn every time and then you get Rise out a little bit faster and hopefully save some HP, live 1 round longer, and then get even crazier boards. Set spell damage, this one is going to be nerfed a little bit. I think it's because Ionians are getting buffed because you get to play with Yone. Did they change Set's unlock condition? I don't think they did. Silas base health going to be reduced. Demacian justice damage going to be reduced. And then Tom Kench getting a 100 health nerf. His Glutton is going to be nerfed as well for all 1-stars. And then Glutton AP, same thing. Actually, these are just the cheap ones. So if you're being a budget Tom Kench, you're feeding him some McDonald's, you know. Actually, McDonald's isn't even cheap anymore. What's a cheap meal nowadays? You know, the halal truck near me increased their prices last week from $9 to $10. I was pretty sad about that. I can't really think of any cheap meals nowadays out there unless you just like eat some banana and peanut butter, right? Like we've all been there. You know, I do it all the time. It is what it is. So yeah, I guess if you feed him those meals, he's not going to be that happy, right? But if you feed him 15-course Michelin star restaurants, like yeah, he's still going to be getting a lot of AP and health from there. T-Hex health, this one's going to be dropped a bit. T-Hex spell damage going to be dropped a bunch also. Holy cow. I mean, they have to, right? He's so easy to get. 7 stars compared to 9 stars. You don't even need like some of the 4 costs anymore, right? You just need to hit level 8. T-Hex missile damage, 10% of base being changed to 6%. And then cost per second, 25 to 30. for mana. And then Thresh Resist down by 10. Soul Scaling is going to be halved, pretty much the same as the Callista change. And then Xerath, Desert Golem's Charms, is going to be changed from 40 to 25. I haven't seen much Xerath recently. Like, he's good, but Azir kind of feels like a little meh. But Azir did get some changes this patch, so we'll see. I like Xerath personally a lot. He's just hard to unlock, you know? But MR going to be dropped a little bit from the Golem Charm bonus. I guess they just really didn't like this charm. Maybe it was a little too OP. Econ augments. Okay, expected unexpectedness gold rewards by stage 11, 15, and 20 to 9, 12, and 18. So nerfs for that. It was good. I pretty much took this every single time I could. Going long, initial gold 15 to 8. Wow, that's pretty big. This is a pretty cool augment, pretty fun to play around with. It's a little weird. Like, if you play it the first time, you're not going to kind of get it. But honestly, I have a lot of fun playing around with this one. 15 to 8, that's quite a bit, you know. It means you're going to hit some of the bigger levels a little bit later. It still should be okay, I think. Maybe not. That's tough. That's tough. Maybe it's just okay. Maybe slightly below average. Probably still worth taking if you have the good spot for it. Good for something. Gold chance 50 to 40. Epoch rerolls 3 to 2. Okay, that's to compensate for Bard. But like, the thing is, the plus one, did the plus one really need a nerf? Because you really just need the stage 2 one to get a nerf. The one for the plus, like in stage 3, who cares if you get an extra reroll, right? Like, it doesn't matter at that point. You're already figured out your team. You can't abuse Bard with it. So yeah, I don't think they needed to do the Epoch plus, maybe just the regular one. Fire sale removed. Really? Okay, I kind of like that one. A hard bargain, gold 10 to 8. Let's read this thing. With many unlocks moving to level requirements, the value of gold was buffed, so we're nerfing the overperforming econs. Okay, so they're just trying to do a econ check. Okay, so they're just trying to do an econ check, fighting inflation out there, you know? Hustler, initial gold 6 to 3, indecision 5 to 4, indecision 2, 8 to 6. Level up, okay, initial XP 12 to 8. Level up is just a hard augment to balance because it's just really good in gold subscription, and then if you have like no gold, it's just really bad, right? Like, this one's kind of hard to deal with. Malicious monetization, initial gold 2 to 10, but rounds active being changed from 3 to 2. Okay, so you pretty much need to win now, and that's it. Max build disabled. Okay, thank God. I hated this one so much. Everyone just gets 3-star forecast from this. It's so stupid. They nerfed it already last patch, and then I was making a joke. They don't even need that nerf to apply before they get 3-star forecast because they nerfed the second duplicator. It took longer to get. They changed it from 6-1 to 6-2 or something like that. I forgot the exact change, but like they hit their 3-star forecast on like stage 5-5, so it's like it didn't matter. But I'm glad they're removing it. Pilfer 3-2 only, Pilfer reward requirement 35 to 25. This is the one where you get a 1-star copy of the champion you kill, and then you get a Thieves' Gloves later on. Prismatic Destiny, that one's the random one, 4 gold to 3 gold, Destiny Plus 10 to 7, solo leveling, bonus health, 666 to 525, makes sense. Spoils of War, drop chance 45 to 40, this is the one where you kill stuff, loot drops, or chance to drop. Trade Sector, initial gold 4 to 2, that's the one with rerolls, and then too much value, initial 2 cost 2 to 1. Okay, that's a pretty big change there, because not only do you lose 2 gold from having less units, but you also might not be able to max out your too much value. Now onto the augments that are other ones. Chase traits, okay, they're talking Banal Bounty 1 removed. Banal Bounty 2, gold per unlock Yordle, being changed from 4 to 2. Prismatic 10 also requires reaching level 10 now. This was just the Yordle augment. Cooking Pot, this one gives you a spatula and gives you health on a specific unit next to a spatula or emblem. But you now get more health, okay, so they're buffing that. Evolve and Overcome, this is the Void one. Takes down required 5 to 6. Find Your Center, that's the one where you get a bonus in the front and center spot, max health being buffed up a lot. This one's really good on like melee carries or if you have like a Giga Tank. Mainly on like reroll comps though, just because those comps just care about 1 or 2 units. Forge in Strength threshold is going to be changed from 35 to 40. That's the one where you get an artifact and then you get a bunch more when you drop below a certain amount of health. Golemify, that one golemifies all your champions. 3 to 2. Leap of Faith, AD spell damage, this one's going to be buffed up. Okay, that's the Alawi hero augment one. Preparation, that's the one where you get units on your bench buffed up. AD and AP going to be jumped up by 1%. Solo Plate, max health, that's a Stone Plate one, 15 to 20%. Trait Tree also grants a Reforger now. Walk the True Path, that's the Ionian vertical one, where you try to get Ionia 10. That one you get Shen and Jin is being changed to Yasuo. Item granted is going to be changed to BF Sword from IE. Okay, I'd rather have IE to be honest. But I guess since they're giving Yasuo, yeah, maybe the BF Sword makes more sense. Also, Yone is going to be easier to unlock. Okay, yeah, maybe you want this. Walk the True Path does not appear on Path of Enlightenment. Makes sense. And then the 10 Ionia now also requires reaching level 10. Okay, yeah. Pretty good changes there. Do they need to give the champion duplicator though? Because this gives like a lesser dupe to try to help you get Yasuo 3-star, but you don't need it anymore, so maybe you don't need that. Isn't this augment just OP now? Like, maybe it is. Yeah, you get like 2 lesser duplicators. Like, I don't know. You kind of don't need them anymore. Is it going to be too good now? Like, you just win streak hard early with it instead of saving it for Yasuo 3-star? Okay, this one's got to be OP, right? Am I crazy in thinking that? We stick together, attack speed 20 to 25%. They got some bug fixes. Fix a bug where allied Galio could remove allied failure bonuses mid-combat. Not good. Together but apart mission fails to progress. And then no scoreboard during the Sky Lantern Summit Arena intro. Wait, did they not nerf Galio this whole time? So Galio's just Giga buff then. Is that what I'm hearing? Because he's going to be super easy to unlock now. He's just going to be there like a lot earlier, and you don't have to roll as aggressively. And also they buffed Demacia to give more resistances now. Okay, I have a feeling Demacia is just going to be good next patch. Honestly, there are so many changes though. Maybe there's some weird, like, I feel like Ionia, Demacia, and Zon are going to be pretty good. That's my gut feeling if you like put a gun to my head and force me to tell you what comps are going to be OP, even though there are a billion changes this patch. Gun to my head, yeah, that would be what I'd be talking about. I am excited about some of the big unlocks, though, like Sylas, super fun. I'm hoping Mel sees a little more play. She kind of didn't really get much play this set, and she is a really cool unit in my opinion. She's just weird because you need adaptive helms on her. If we look at her itemization, like adaptive helm just like does really, really, really well. But the thing is, no one builds adaptive that much, so it's a little awkward. The set nerf obviously does kind of hurt the Ionians a bit, but I feel like all the other Ionia changes just makes it so much better. And it was already pretty solid to begin with. But it'd be interesting to see how people use the 2 Void unlock, where Rift Herald's really easy to get, and also the Shadow Owl change. Like, I'm hoping to see some good Rise comps out there. That'd be really fun to see. Veigar, I'm going to be playing a lot more Veigar now. Like, he's just a cool champ, you know? I wish I could play him in League of Legends, but I'm just too bad at his cages, so I just can't, you know? So for the sake of my teammates, I don't play him, but I like playing him. He was fun to play, you know? So I'm hoping we could relive some of that glory in TFT, but those are my initial thoughts right now. I'm going to be coming out with a guide update tomorrow. We're going to be working nonstop to get that up, and then full update on Thursday, and then video on Friday as per usual. So that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Big video though, so like huge patch. I'm actually really glad that they did this because I kind of was really hyped up for this set at the beginning of the set, and then as I played it, it kind of died down a little bit. Mainly because there's just a lot of force play from 2-1, like it didn't feel that great, but hopefully with like more flex play in there, it should be much more fun, a lot more puzzle solving on the fly, so it should be great overall there. But that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.